The ending to the Cowboys-Commanders game was one for the ages. A 99-yard kick returned an 86-yard touchdown pass with a missed extra point to tie the game and an onside kick that was returned for another touchdown. All that results from the Cowboys' first win since Week 5. The miraculous win may have even saved Mike McCarthy's job.
Listen, Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach. I was listening to the game last night, watching it, and Aikman was talking about it, and he's reiterated that several times publicly. This Super Bowl winning coach, and Mike McCarthy has been there, done that. He's got great ideas. So bottom line is that in no place in my body language or anything else have you seen indications about what we're going to be doing relative to this staff at the end of this year.
Okay, breaking news. Jerry found a mic. Dominique Fox for this year, and Stephen A. is frustrated, upset. I don't know.
Get your man, Stephen A.
For you, Stephen A.
Get your man.
You speak for yourself. Nice suit, by the way.
You know, I don't blame Shannon for laughing because every time Jerry Jones opens his mouth, he makes Shannon look, like a prophet. He's the gift that keeps on giving, man. It makes no damn sense whatsoever. Go ahead and put Shannon on the screen so the world can see him laughing at me, laughing at Jerry, and laughing at everybody, because damn it, we all deserve it. I can't believe Jerry. I really can't. It makes no damn sense, Shannon. It really makes no damn sense what this man keeps saying. Listen. Mike McCarthy has been a head coach in the NFL for 18 years, Shannon. He's won 61% of his games. 59% of those wins have come with the Dallas Cowboys. He's taken the team to the playoffs, more than a few times. I think 9 times in Green Bay, if I remember correctly, 4 NFC championship games. I get all of that, man. I understand it. But when we talk about Mike McCarthy, one of the reasons we talked about him needing to be gone, Shannon, we didn't sit up there and say that the man can't coach, he's awful, blah, blah, blah. What we said was Bill Belichick was out there. We said something like, or it could be somebody like Prime Time or somebody new and fresh or whatever. In other words, the same old wasn't going to cut it. That's what we were talking about. And then Jerry Jones goes on the air and spews his drivel. And all we can think about is, you know what, Jerry Jones sounded a lot like that when it came to Jason Garrett. Jerry Jones sounded a lot like that when it came to Wade Phillips. Jerry Jones sounded a lot like that when it came, to other coaches that he's had since the days of Jimmy Johnson. This is what Jerry Jones does, and as things change, they remain the same. And no matter when he ages, I'm just looking at him, man, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Have you seen how your team has looked this year? If you're saying what you're saying, he's basically admitting, Dom, Shannon, well, it really ain't Mike McCarthy's fault. It's all mine, knowing you ain't going to fire yourself. Okay, fine. But damn it, didn't at least say that. To sit up there and act like the man comes with ideas. He's very creative. He brings a lot to the table. While we're seeing what we're seeing, this is why I came on national television and said, I'm very concerned. I'm very, very concerned. Now, they had him on radio in Dallas, and they were like, Stephen A's very concerned. And he was like, he got on me a little bit, but it was all fun and what have you, because I got affection for the man. But the bottom line is Shannon's right. There is slippage. He hasn't gotten it done. His ego has gotten in the way, and this is the latest example because there is no reason on God's green earth today, this season, to be talking about your coach as if he should feel secure with his future, considering how your team has looked. There is no excuse for it.
Well, Jerry, I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to have to push back because you say there's nothing in your body language. You didn't extend it. You could have easily, your body language could have said, here, Mike, here's a new 4 or 5 year deal. That's not what you did. You have him in a lame duck season. Now, you just said a couple of weeks ago, maybe some of the play calling, because now it wasn't about those great ideas. We came out here and we talked about that, Fox. We talked about that, Stephen A. So now you win a game against the Commanders and now everything is righted. I'm confused, Jerry. Jerry doesn't like change. That's what it is. He doesn't want to run the risk because he knows if he were to fire Mike McCarthy, there's going to be a groundswell for him to go get a Coach Belichick, Stephen A. And I believe, that's what the fans are going to want. But Jerry knows. See, Jerry wants to win his way. Jerry knows if Coach Belichick comes in there and they work to win, Coach Belichick's going to get the credit. Remember, that's why he got Jimmy Johnson's ass out of there. Jimmy was getting all the credit. He wants the credit. And he is not bigger than Belichick because Coach Belichick, that resume is impeccable when it comes to Super Bowls and winning. So, man, Jerry said nothing in his body language suggests, Fox, I thought, you give a coach, he's going to his last year, and you're securing him and you love what he's doing, you give him a contract extension. And you definitely doesn't go on the radio and then talk about the play calls, maybe some of the things like that, because Mike McCarthy came out and refuted what you had said.
I don't want to hear.
I could be wrong, but I could have swear I heard that.
I don't want to. I'm with you, Shannon. I don't want to hear your body talk. I want to hear that money talk. Like, I don't want this body language. If you respect me, give me a piece of paper that got a comma on it and a bunch of zeros and a line where I can sign. So, like, his body language does suggest that he doesn't have faith in McCarthy. But I would say that Jerry Jones has tried to run a stable organization in that there's not a bunch of, like, quick trigger firing of coaches. And if we all agree, which I think we do, the problem with this team this year is Jerry Jones. It's not Mike McCarthy. It's the roster that they've given him. So, like, to say that nothing about what Mike McCarthy's done means that he deserves to get fired, I think is probably fair. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get fired. Like, it's fair to not fire him if you are willing to accept that the issues with this team, when you gave him a good roster, they won 12 games. Maybe you could say that the shortcomings are in the playoffs and you want a different coach to get that done. That's fine. But saying that Mike McCarthy hasn't done anything that means that he should get fired is probably true. But the big question is the one that we always talk about here is the things that's not going to change. What other coaches fit into this organization? And there aren't many out there because we know that he is not going to change the way he does business. Frankly, what Jerry Jones needs to do is stop making comments at all. Like, you should, at this point, you want to engender confidence in your coach. Because the team, like the Cowboys, there are a lot of teams that are out of it, that are folding up shop. The Cowboys are still fighting. That's a credit to Mike McCarthy, that he's still in there getting them to show up and fight and win games against teams that I think are probably better than them with a backup quarterback. That's a credit to Mike McCarthy. But Jerry Jones, you can give him confidence, but you got to stop talking, man. Like, every week we have to react to you, and that makes it harder for the coach to get his job done and harder for your team to have success. If you want to stick with Mike McCarthy because he's a coach that allows you to be Jerry Jones in the way that you want to be, then that's fine. But we ain't got to hear it every week, and give him a contract. Don't send him out there a lame duck. No one sends a coach out there with 0 years left on their contract unless you're planning on moving on from him.
In other words, don't spit in our face and tell us it's raining. I get it loud and clear. You know, Dom, you're a relatively stubborn dude. I suspect that when your wife talks to you, you listen. You understand? Happy life, happy wife, happy life. Shannon, I know how strong-willed you are, but you know what? When that brother Sterling roll up on you, I mean, the ears perk up. You go stand there, attention. You go listen. You might push back, but damn it, Sterling got some influence. We all have people in our lives that find a way to influence us in ways no one else can. How come none of us can figure out who the hell is that for Jerry Jones? I don't get it. Is it Steven? Is it one of the grandchildren? Is it the wife? I mean, somebody.
None of us are billionaires.
All we're at this point right now, do you realize how bad the Dallas Cowboys have regressed? We have reached a point where all we're asking for is for somebody to keep him away from the media, from the camera, or from the microphone. That's it. That's how bad it's got. We didn't even get to their play. We've gotten to a point where we say, will somebody grab Jerry and prevent him from giving these damn asinine quotes to the public? That is what we have regressed to when it comes to Jerry Jones. It's really a bad situation in Dallas. And listen, I respect Mike McCarthy, but the bottom line is there were better options out there. There are better options out there. And for Jerry Jones to look at this team this year and say that, and speak about Mike McCarthy in such glowing terms, I don't know. There is no explanation for it.
Stephen A., who do you think should be the Cowboys' next head coach?
Well, I've said, to me, it's prime time or it's Mike McCarthy. And I get what I'm sorry, not Mike McCarthy. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick. I got what Shannon was saying yesterday. I understand that loud and clear. My whole point is desperate times call for desperate measures. And in the end, if you're Bill Belichick and you're accustomed to running the show, but nobody wants to hire you because you got all these young bloods running football organizations, then you take something. If you're Jerry Jones, maybe you could talk and let somebody else do the coaching and hold players accountable. That would be the best situation. But it doesn't matter because Jerry Jones ain't listening to none of us.
Shannon, where are you on this?
I just don't think he and Coach Belichick. That's vinegar and water, oil and gas, or oil and water, whatever the case may be. But let me ask you this, Fox. You said that Mike McCarthy is a good coach. Are we sure? That man had 17, 18 years with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and got one Super Bowl appearance.
Well, I said good,
Let
not
that
great.
sink in. He had two.
I said good, not great.
He had two. Oh, no, I'm talking about Fox.
Yeah,
I'm saying he had two top 10 quarterbacks in the history of the game, and he got one Super Bowl appearance out of that.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue, based on what we've seen from Aaron Rodgers recently, that that's a damn success. Congratulations, Mike McCarthy. You managed to get a Super Bowl out of Aaron Rodgers while having Aaron Rodgers in your locker room. That seems like some incredible interpersonal magic that he has displayed. He managed to keep that locker room together. So Mike McCarthy got some magic that we don't know about.
So you feel like Mike McCarthy should stay as the head coach?
Yeah, I think Mike McCarthy should stay.
And Shannon, do you have a name? I know you don't want Bill Belichick. It doesn't seem like you're high on McCarthy. Is there someone that you have an eye on?
No, I'm not. I have, but look, you already know you get that coach's title. It's title only. You're not coaching the team because Jerry Jones is going to undermine you and he's going to usurp your power. So you really don't have power to have that one voice to govern the team as a head coach should. It makes it very, very tough to win in Dallas.
Okay, so you're saying it's a lost cause because you have no miracle workers right now. I get it.
The Dallas Cowboys are in the middle of one of their most disappointing seasons in recent memory. With a 4-7 record, injuries to key players, including Dak Prescott undergoing season-ending surgery for a hamstring injury, and inconsistent performances, the team's playoff hopes are hanging by a thread. Yet, despite the struggles, owner Jerry Jones hasn't ruled out extending head coach Mike McCarthy's contract, even as it enters its final year. When asked about McCarthy's future during an interview on 105.3 The Fan, Jones delivered a response that caught many fans by surprise. "I don't think that's crazy at all. Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach. This is a Super Bowl-winning coach who's been there and done that. He has great ideas, and at no point in my body language or comments have I indicated what we're going to do with this staff at the end of the season. We've got a lot of football left." McCarthy, who joined the Cowboys in 2020, has had a mixed tenure so far. His first season was marred by the COVID-19 pandemic and a brutal ankle injury to Dak Prescott, which led the team to a 6-10 record. However, in the 3 seasons that followed, McCarthy led Dallas to consecutive 12-5 records, re-establishing them as regular season contenders. Despite these successes, the Cowboys' playoff performance under McCarthy has been lackluster, with a record of just 1-3 in the postseason. Now, with the team underperforming and fans growing impatient, the spotlight is squarely on McCarthy. Some argue that the rash of injuries, including Prescott's absence, has made it unfair to judge him this season. Others believe that after nearly 5 seasons with limited postseason success, it might be time for a new leader to take the helm. The Cowboys' upcoming schedule and final record could play a significant role in determining McCarthy's fate. If the team manages to turn the season around and show promise, Jones may opt for continuity, emphasizing McCarthy's track record and leadership experience. However, if the struggles continue, the pressure from fans and media could make it hard to justify keeping him in charge.